Welcome back to a new video. So we are reinventing the Thursday training session a little bit. I thought I was like, I'll just continue to do the same kind of sessions I've been doing, and honestly think it would have gone fine. I don't feel any better or worse. My back is really sore from the squats, of course, because I don't use my legs, but like I'm generally sore. I've been doing the pull-ups. I did 4 sets of 3 this morning and some ab work. But what I want to do today, instead of doing snatches or some sort of snatch complex, is to do snatch balance and then to do front squat plus jerk, and that will probably be it. So it'll be kind of a day off from squatting, but obviously it will still be included in the front squat plus jerk complex. And I think I'll just do the same weights. So I'll do 40, 60, 80 in the snatch balance, with the goal of doing it in a similar fashion as I did with the snatch plus snatch balance, where I'm trying to get into the squat quickly. And then for the front squat plus jerk, I mean, it's the same thing as clean jerk. So I'm envisioning in my giant head, at least it's not so giant now, but when I was first born it was very giant. I'm envisioning that this day is a easier day in some regards, but I'm still working on something that's a snatch or clean jerk, obviously focused, but I don't have a squat or a pull, or at least like volume with it. I thought about having the snatch pull volume today. Last week I didn't have any, and I was like, I'm already really sore. I feel like I've done enough work during the week as far as squatting and pulling, and so today we'll be focused on that. And honestly, now that I'm talking about it, today might be a good day to have some pressing volume. So I think today might be a good day for that, because really the most that I'm pressing, I did the decline push-ups earlier this week along with the floor pressing, floor like bench pressing. And that's all fine and dandy, and did some of the tricep extensions and bicep curls when I was at the gym on Saturday. But I think just having some regular overhead press can also be nice as well. And I don't really have a day, at least in the previous week, where I was really doing that outside of the clean and jerk complex. So I think having that as today's focus, as today's volume, could be nice just to do a little bit of work in. But we're gonna do the snatch balances first, and just probably on it. I mean, we'll see how they feel, but I haven't really warmed up at all. I've also realized too, the 10,000 step thing for me is not really uber important, because I don't put the watch on as soon as I wake up. So I'm missing out on a good amount of, not a good amount, but a decent amount of steps in the morning. Because when I left work with 8,500, maybe a little bit more. And I had 2 open slots today, so that's always tends to be the case if I have, non-classes, if I don't happen to go outside for whatever reason to, hang out on recess. But I also basically take it off once I get in my car. I don't wear it all day because it's always, I think it's the rubber, but it's I've tried to get it to not smell, and obviously I sweat, but I try to put sanitizer and keep it clean, but it just never can not smell. And honestly don't like wearing a watch. I don't like the feeling of just having that on all the time. Outside of, when I'm at work, it's really convenient because I can use it to check time and messages and to pause the music without having to get my phone out. So it's really nice for that. So there's a really good practical, but if I could do that all and it not be on my wrist, then I would certainly prefer that. But that all being said is I don't wear it 24/7. So there's, on a day where I get say 8,000 steps, for me especially, there's probably close to 2,000 steps that I'm getting, because I just kind of walk around a lot. I kind of moving around the house a lot. And I would say at a minimum 1,000. So if I hit 9,000, I'm definitely over 10. And what I've realized too is, if I'm getting 10,000 steps at work, it's not as if I come home and just lay on the floor and do nothing. And obviously right here in training, I don't have my watch on, so that's also an impact as well. Obviously with heart rate too, this is where my heart rate gets elevated the most as well. Typically, as far as exercise goes. And my body is really excited to train today. But we had more coffee today. We're back on the coffee train. But we're just sore. Nothing really hurts too bad. I don't know how the snatch balances will feel, but sitting in a squat doesn't hurt. But just my mid back is sore. Pull-ups went pretty well today though. They're starting to kind of stagnate as far as the reps I'm able to do. They're not really getting exponentially easier, but I'm also not losing a ton of weight, which is going to be the main driver of progress with them, and at least in the short term. Obviously, if I do them for long enough, they'll start to get a bit easier. But I'm also not doing them with straps consistently, so I'm getting some of that grip work, which probably is good, probably is beneficial. Ooh, a little crackly. Sound like a Rice Krispies. I say a Rice Krispie treat, but they don't really crackle. It sound like a bowl of Rice Krispies. But nothing hurts. Crackles don't mean nothing. They mean nothing. I mean, if I paid attention to every crackle I've had, I would have stopped exercising when I was about 8 years old. My parents would always joke they could hear me coming up the stairs because they could hear all my joints crack. So I don't know what genetic thing that is, but even when I was little, I had that. But let's do a tactical reset. So we get 40 on there, and we'll just go to work. Another nice thing with a session like this too is we can make it quick, make it even faster than the other sessions, and still have it be productive. So I haven't done snatch balance since I think I did some last week, but just up to that 80. So similar number, and similar session in a overall intensity. See how the first one feels? Maybe we just do doubles. We're definitely achy. Definitely a good choice to have an easier day today. I should be able to do some overhead pressing fine. But this is the session last week where I missed the 150 front squat. There's a dirt bike, the daily dirt bike. And I don't know how well the front squats would feel today, but just based on that, like, I'm definitely achy. And I squatted really well 2 days in a row, so I don't really want to push the luck and miss another front squat and not even really being that annoyed by it, but just like know the reason why is because I'm just not, I squatted heavy twice in a row. We'll go ahead and do 60 here. But we had the first double day of students and the first full day with every student here. And honestly went well. Not a lot of screaming, which is, sounds kind of weird to say, but like when kids run, they like to scream. And we did not experience that, which is nice. Has been an issue before where you have to stop the warm up and stuff when kids are running because they just scream their heads off. So I don't know what changed, but it'll probably start up once they get used to the warm up. Alright, 60. Thought about doing the second, but I gotta have a couple sessions a week where I'm not trying to just always go super hard. And I'm still gonna do 80, but Just trying to get down into the squat quickly. Not doing the, I forget that British lady's name, but the lady that sounds really annoying in all the weightlifting competition videos with the most obnoxious voice, and camera cut me off. But I forget what her name is, but she's like talks about how the pool in a snatch or the pool in weightlifting is not a pool when it is. It just from every way that she slices it, it just is, and she's just delusional. But she's just not very intelligent when it comes to, you know, weightlifting stuff. Just because she performed at a high level, and that's true of not just her, but of like anyone that's been a professional. And maybe I don't know if I'd even consider her professional because it was weightlifting and it's infancy for women, but like professional athletes aren't by default smart when it comes to teaching the movements. They're very good at it, but for any sport, baseball, football, basketball, being at a high level does not guarantee that you are a good teacher or have a deep understanding of, you know, what you're doing. And that's fine, but point I was getting at with that is that she teaches, well, she, you know, gaslights about what a snatch balance is basically doing, I forget what it's called, but a different kind of movement where you basically don't drive the bar up at all and you just jump underneath. I think that's fine with light weights, but like you can't really progress with that weight, and it's more fun to just do regular snatch balances instead of just that bottom portion. And you know, it's like, is there utility to an overhead squat? Yeah. Is there utility to a snatch balance? Certainly. Is there some utility to that? Probably. Like I would say most likely, but kind of similar to like a tall snatch. Like it's useful, but like eventually you have to be able to load these movements up, and when you don't have any leg drive, it's hard to really load the movement up. And for me, you know, sometimes I do snatch balances and they go really slow. I catch it and I have to squat it really slow. So it gives me a point that even with the same weight, I can scale it up to make it better. And if you're just diving underneath, I feel like you're just training yourself to let the bar crash. At least when you have a little bit of drive and then you're kind of riding it down a little bit more, you're teaching yourself more stability. But I don't know, she just says it's not a pool, which is hilarious because like, that's what someone would say that's bad at pools, that it's just a squat, you just use your legs. And like, yeah, your back does most of the work. I hate to break it to people, but your back is 99% of your lift. Your legs obviously do a lot, so that's a bit of an exaggeration, but pulling on the bar, that's a super important part of the lift. Like the idea of like your arm should be loose and arm should be like relaxed, and it's like yes and no. Like do a hard, your arms during a snatch or a clean should be similar to a heavy deadlift, to where yes, they're straight, but they're not loose. You do a heavy deadlift and you have loose and relaxed arms, your back is loose and you're going to just lift like crap. I don't know how anyone thinks, yes, I need loose and relaxed arms. And like, no, you need tension in it, and it's not tension in your arm. You need tension in your back, and the way you do that is by moving, having tension in your arms. And that doesn't mean you necessarily bend and crank your arm or do anything crazy like that, but, you know, explaining movements like that where it's like, yes, you have to use your arms, and like people are like, well, you don't arm bend. It's like, that's true, but like also just be an athlete. You know, at some point it comes down to that. It's like, just be coordinated. Understand that your whole body has to do a lift and it's going to do it whether you want it or not. That's where it's like, she's like, oh, it's not a pool. Well, it's a pool whether you want to call it that or not. It doesn't really matter. Saying it's, I don't even know what she calls it. You don't call it a pool. But I would say the pool is probably the most important part of the lift, because you can mess that, from the aspect of that's where you can mess it up the most. But let's see how the snatch balance feels. I haven't done one out of the rack in a little bit. Talking too much smack. We'll try it again. Back back definitely felt sore in that. But yeah, that's part of like trying to like go down faster. I just lost it forward. We'll focus up into it here. I'm just being an idiot. Just gotta focus in. It didn't do it like squat down as fast as I wanted, but we got it up. So it gives me, been kind of talking about with all the lifts, but it gives me a point from which to progress for the next time I do this movement, to where A, obviously not miss, but catch it better, catch it in more of a squat, in the sense that I'm going straight down and straight up in a smooth pattern. But yeah, I mean, it didn't feel great, but I don't feel great today, so it makes sense. So we're gonna do a couple, we'll do 70 and 110, my regular old numbers. I have not done a front squat plus jerk in a while either. Alright. Felt like my feet are like staggered a little bit, but I don't really care. I don't really care what my feet start out as long as the split feels fine. Back's definitely sore. So it's good I'm not doing a lot today. And I have to get better. Talked about this the other day, but I have to get better at when sessions get harder and they scale up. I can't keep all the sessions the same. I have to scale some back. You know, squats continue to get heavier, more volume and all of that. Like, I can't just keep everything else the same in the week and exponentially increase one of the lifts. There has to be some give and take. Because obviously the goal is overall to increase the amount that you do as far as intensity and volume, but it has to ebb and flow day to day. As fun as it would be just to be able to get up to the same weights every day without any problems. I mean, theoretically you can, but you just have to lift really light. And most people don't want to be lifting light forever. So, see how 110 feels? Hopefully the front squat feels alright. Should. Alright. Keep the positions. Do a good jerk. Feeling my back kind of crackle. I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't hurt, but it makes me feel like it wants to try to spasm or something. But we did the lift, and I didn't feel any irritation or anything doing the squat, just standing at the top. But I don't know, nothing hurts now, so I'm probably not paralyzed. Okay, bar. Okay, bar. But But we shall be fine for some pressing. Guess we'll just start with the bar. Let's go to 40. I haven't done pressing volume really yet, so there's not really a specific number of reps I want to get to. And maybe it's just do sets of 5. You know, just keep adding some weight and just doing 5, which might be fine. We'll go to 60. We're going to load it in a weird way. So, do 20 kilogram dump. So, another set of 5. This one might actually feel a little bit difficult, but we'll see. We'll do one more set. I'm not gonna do 3. Back definitely is a little bit sore. Like I say that every day, but like sore in a crampy way. And I don't want to have a spasm or any sort of back issue. So we'll just do one more set. I guess we can count the 40 as the first set of 5, but starting more pressing volume than last week, so we'll take the win. Alright, quick sessions today, but with all the squats I've been doing and them getting progressively heavier, definitely felt like I needed to have a quicker day like this and, you know, still productive. Did snatch belts the same way that I've been doing snatches at, and front squat plus jerk at the weights I've been doing clean jerks at, and suppressing. So still a good day. Every day is a good day, but just want to continue the momentum and continue to try to progress these sessions. It's been really nice to keep feeling stronger session to session, especially with the squats, which is good. Kind of makes everything feel better. But tomorrow, Friday, will be a light day. Theoretically, last week I did try to do 90 a couple times, but no equipment day with singles. And then Saturday, we go hog wild again, and I mean, theoretically get up the same numbers I did the previous week, but maybe less, maybe more. Who knows? But that's it for this one. Peace.